What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Lasting Thoughts Podcast. I am your host, Digital Relaxation. We are back again for another episode. And before we get started, as always, you like this episode and you like the podcast, be sure to share it and rate it, all that good stuff. But being honest, this might be a short episode. I don't know. Honestly, you don't really have much to talk about. At least not a lot. Like there's been some stuff I've been hearing about and whatnot, but not a lot of it makes like I care about too much. But yeah, we'll see how this goes. So before we get into it, as always, let me start off talking about what I've been up to. I don't know if I talked about. I felt like I don't remember when I watched this, but I felt like I watched it before the last episode, but I just forgot to talk about it. I don't remember. But we're gonna talk about, I guess, our movies and shows or whatever. Oops. And yeah, to start off, I've watched the Sonic movie, the second film. And I mean, I don't know. It's all right. It's not bad. Nothing. It's not. I'm not trying to complain about it. Nothing. It's good. Just I don't know. I got weird feelings about it, mainly because of like I don't know, because it's like you can nitpick it on it being true to the lore and whatnot. And mainly my main worry is when it comes to that is the reveal they set up for the next movie, which if like I'm just concerned on what they're gonna do with that story, because that's a very like I don't know, that's a very deep story to try to play out, and the movie is too like childish or whatever, too goofy to play that story. So I'm kind of afraid. Like so far these two movies been great, but I feel like they rushed with this character. Like if they're gonna tell a story in a certain timeline or a certain order, they should have, like, he shouldn't be here anytime soon. But we will see. What else did I watch? Like I said, I don't know. I don't think I've watched anything else. Not that I can remember. After I watched the Blade movies, I watched Sonic. I know that. Think that's mainly it. I haven't really been watching a lot of stuff except for like YouTube videos and stuff. But I have been busy doing two other things that's been preoccupying my time. So I'll start with one of them, going to my anime manga section. So I finally picked up all the volumes of The Flowers of Evil, which I got them in the complete edition version. So it's like 4 books. So it takes like multiple volumes and put them into one book. So there's 4 of them. So that's a good one. That's a great manga to read if you are into like discussions about mental health and coming of age stories and whatnot. There's an anime for it and a live adaptation film for it. I feel like I don't know if I talked about this here, but I know I made a YouTube video about it. I would recommend reading it and watching the live movie. The anime is cool. The anime style turns some people off. I didn't mind it, but the problem is that it didn't cover the whole story. So if you watch the anime, I only recommend watching the anime if you watch it first before you read the manga, because you could just pick up the manga and continue from there. But if you already picked up the manga and you know what happens, then you just watch the anime. It's like you kind of felt like been duped on the story because it cuts off like half of the story. So yeah, but it's a great one. So I got that. There's more anime. There's a lot more manga I want to collect, like even the ones that I already read and then the ones that I'm currently reading. So I'm still reading. I'm currently reading 2 manga, but one of them kind of hurt my heart. I'm gonna talk about it in a second. But the one I'm reading is Sweat and Soap, which I talked about it, that I already started reading the manga before I started collecting the physical version, and I found out as I've been rereading the manga just so I can brush up on the story again, that I already read a volume and a half of the whole manga. Luckily I got the 3rd volume, so I'm caught up where I'm at now. So the story from here on out is finally gonna be new to me. But yeah, it's a nice story. Like I said, I think I talked about it the last episode. It's a rom-com, I want to say. It's one of those stories of the girl who feels like she is not enough, and she meets this guy that she like holds to a high standard and whatnot. So she has a lot of self-doubts and whatnot. And of course the other side plot of the story. But yeah. So this next manga, I gave it a chance. I don't know why. The picture kind of interested me, but yeah, I just did not read the summary, and I don't know, I got interested in it, and I basically ended up binge reading the entire manga up to where it's currently at. The manga is completed, but only in Japanese, so it has not been completely translated yet, which sucks because yeah, I hate that, because it's like, the story is done and you're just at the mercy of fan translators, because sadly this manga doesn't seem to be popular enough to be getting any legit translations. Like, you can't even buy the books, that if I'm not mistaken. Like, it's that hard to get it, which sucks, because I was gonna just buy the volumes from where I left off, but even the volumes, there's like, I think there's only like 5 volumes of the book, and where I'm at in the story is I'm already past that. So yeah, I'm kind of like just sitting here at the mercy of people. Oh, it's only 4 volumes, sorry. But yeah, I'm only at the mercy of like people who's fan dubbing it, because it's not really being properly dubbed, or if it is, it's taking a lot long. Like, I don't even know, like, when did this even come out? If I can see, the manga itself came out in 2018 and it finished January last year, so it's fairly new. I'm trying to see when the manga came out though, when they started selling the volumes, because then it's like trying to figure out how long it's gonna take till they make new ones and just sitting there waiting. So that's kind of been my struggle. So I don't even know if I put the title in, but the title, the English title, because they kind of want to retcon the Japanese title, I think. I don't know. But the English title is called That's My Atypical Girl, which the story is following, I'll read the summary, is Yokoi is a manga artist who spends his nights delivering newspapers just to make rent. Since his original work just don't seem to sell, suddenly one day he gets a visit from Saito-san, a self-proclaimed fan of Yokoi's work, who made the long journey to meet him. Yokoi quickly realizes that the things Saito-san sees, feels, and thinks are are different from most people. Those two struggle together to find a place to belong in this unique slice of life. So, kind of summarize that and give a little insight on the story is that this dude, I don't know, do we? I think we did get his age. I don't remember because there was a chapter where they celebrated his birthday, but he doesn't like to celebrate his birthday. But he's I don't know, like a dude, I guess probably in his 20s. So yeah, he makes manga, like he writes manga like as his side thing, and he works a part-time job just to like make ends meet, and he's just been cool with that. And then suddenly this girl pulls up and it's like, hey, I'm like your number one fan type thing. So the story is basically like she has a disorder. So this is my first time, well, I want to say, I guess disability, or I don't know, but this is my first time reading a manga that's kind of like that, where it's like split, like, you know, touching on people who deal with having certain type of disorders and are diagnosed with certain things. So I forget what it is, but because they've been, like I said, they've been kind of retconning on what it is she has, because some of the medical terms kind of don't, like, I don't say they don't exist no more, but they kind of like aren't taking it as serious as it should be before. So it's kind of hard to pinpoint what it is she has, but she basically has a disorder, like a development disorder. So it's hard for her to understand things. Like she needs like the direct pinpoint version of anything you tell her. Like you try to like explain things to her in a vague kind of way, she won't get it, and that kind of upsets a lot of people, like even her teachers, other students, and that they like, you know, the students would bully her, and then the teachers would ignore her when she tells them about it because they can't explain to her about what's going on because she doesn't understand things. So they get upset with her, and then her dad is like basically abusing her, not sexually but just physically and verbally, and like basically locking her up in a dog cage and whatnot. So she was like, you know, on the verge of basically taking her own life and whatnot. She tried several times to actually take her life, but she been found every time. So they helped, like, no, they rescued her. But yeah, so she decided to read this manga, which is about a story of basically kind of the same thing she been going through. Like, it's about this dude who been bullied and whatnot, and she felt like, no, this is me. Like, this dude is telling my story. So she just became obsessed with the person who wrote it, and, you know, as she got older, I guess her last resort would be to meet him. Worst case scenario, if he turns out to be someone she isn't like, no, she doesn't like, or he's a creep or whatever, then she was planning on taking her life that day. Kind of spoilerish, but yeah. But yeah, so yeah, so she finally meets him and tells him about how she likes his work and whatnot, and she's just like, yeah, like she traveled from a far distance just to meet him, and this was basically her goal. Like, she has nowhere to go after that, nothing. So he essentially basically just takes her in, and now he has to deal with learning how to talk to this girl, because, you know, at first she's so different and whatnot. So it's like this man is learning a whole lot of patience and learning how to deal with this person and learning how she speaks and learning how she sees things. And obviously they eventually develop a romantic relationship with each other as she gets better and whatnot. But the reason this one kind of got to me was because I like not so much the disorder, but more so on the romance section about it, or just how her obsession with the dude is. It's like, I kind of know people like that, and even myself kind of been somewhat like that, like kind of having an attachment to people and whatnot, and feeling like I'm living for this one person or whatever. So it's like, I understand how she feels, and when it comes to like, if this relationship don't work out type thing, like this is all I have left, and what's left for me if this don't work out type thing. But yeah, so like, I don't know, I got very interested in the manga. I'm probably did not sell this manga, right? But it's a good read. But yeah, like I said, I freaking binged the whole thing and I'm caught up, and now I don't know how long it takes for them to translate the the manga, so I don't know how long it's gonna take me to finish this. Like I said, it sucks because the manga itself is done. It's not like it's a continuous story, but it's only done in Japanese, so it's like I gotta sit here and just like hold it or something. I don't know. So that's my situation with that. Too many manga out here. I need to start finding manga that's done and that's accessible, because there's too many manga that I'm reading that's ongoing and it's killing me. But yeah, that's my manga section for now. I don't think there's anything else I'm reading. I'm reading a few other things, but yeah, I only read like 2 more chapters of Jujutsu again. I'm still in like the early chapters, like they doing I guess this would be a quote unquote tournament arc, but it's not. But yeah, I don't know what that was going on. Like I said, I don't know, like I don't want to like crap on it. It just makes me surprised that this got like as far as it did. Because like I said, the first few volumes is weak, in my opinion. Like they are weak. So yeah, I don't know. That's like, I know the answer to the question is obvious. Like, yeah, these stories, shonen mangas, are mainly meant for they're mainly meant for teenagers. So yeah, obviously I just freaking wow. All right, sidetrack. Sorry, going back to my that's my atypical girl. Like I said, it's still so new. So the 5th volume, according to this, the 5th volume is not even out yet. It comes out 22nd. No, the 28th. So the 5th volume is not even out yet. If I'm not mistaken, I am past the 5th volume. Probably, I don't know what volume I'm on, but I know I'm definitely past the 5th volume. So if they still, oh man, it's gonna take forever to finish this manga. I'm sorry. Like, this hurt my heart because I really like this story, and it's gonna take so long for me to finish it. But yeah, so where was I? Oh yeah, Jujutsu. Well, shonen. Like shonen, like they supposed to appeal to teenagers. Obviously, that's how they kind of got all of us when we started watching anime, Dragon Ball Z, and all of that. But I don't know, like, cause it's people who's my age and from my group who praising these animes and mangas, and I'm like, they're not meant for you. And it's like, you guys are still like, not to say like, oh, like, grow up. It's more so like, how does this still excites you, I guess. Like it's like you've seen it before. Like this happened in this manga before. This happened like this is the shonen formula. Like it happens. Like how is this still exciting you? I don't know. So that's just my thing. Like there's nothing like I can't stand me personally. Like there might be some shonen that might be good, but there's some tropes I don't like. Like I don't like the main character. I can't stand his type. Like people who feel like not even that they feel like they find out that they just like naturally gifted at everything, and they just straight up full blown accept it, and it's like there's no hardship or nothing. Like they try to force hardship, but there's really no hardship for him. Like he learns everything quickly. He knows how to do everything quickly compared to people who've been like out here trying to do this for real. It's like he's already catching up to them. I'm like, bro, like the story just started. Why like you shouldn't be this dope so soon? So it's I don't know. I need to see struggle. If you like in certain stories I need to see struggles. Like I don't mind certain like well depend like most of the ones I like when the characters are good aren't shonen type for the most part. Like I don't know, like even which is funny, I forgot to mention I actually started recently rewatching Samurai Champloo again. I want to start binge watching like all my old animes that I fell in love with and see if they still hold up. So I think I want to make a legit like top 10 anime list. I don't think I have one, so I want to like rewatch the ones that I know I like and see if they really still hold up to be on my list. But like Samurai Champloo, like Mugen and Jin, like yeah, they dope in the beginning, but it's not like, you know, that's how we see them. Like they wasn't, like Mugen was just some regular dude and he just happened to pick up a sword and he just ended up being dope at it. Like like they made it seem like he was confident. Like he walked into the store like, yo, if you feed me, I'll wipe all those dudes out right now. So it's like oh, this man sound like he dope, and then he just starts backing it up. And then Jin is just like, he already looks like he means business with his cold demeanor and his seriousness, and you right here see he got his katana, so like all right, he's about this life. So like, and then as you go through the show, it's like eventually you see some hardship. Like there's a legit episode where they both got washed by that one, the blind female. Like there's hardship there. Like as sweet as they were, there's still people who's out there that give them a challenge, and they had to work harder and whatnot. Like Mugen legit had to do some training to learn a new technique to fight this one dude. Jin had to like go back into his arsenal of using a secret technique that his master taught him so he could defeat this dude. Like they had to dig deep to defeat certain people sometimes. And it's like not like every fight is just, oh, we won. It's like, nah, like they took L's. So yeah, I don't know. I can't stand I'm nice for no reason, so the story is gonna revolve around me now because I'm nice. Like no. So yeah, that's my story. That's my issue with Jujutsu Kaisen, and kind of shonen at this point. But yeah, yeah. So I think that's it for my manga and anime section. Music, just a slight update. I haven't listened to it completely, but I have been listening to like in spurts and different songs. I revisited the Kendrick album again, like through songs. There's some songs that I've been skipping, like just I don't know, like the song's just been speaking to me. Like if it starts off weird, I don't listen to it. So I mentioned that my two favorite songs through my first listen were Purple Heart and Mr. Morale. they are still two of my favorite songs, but I found my favorite song again, possibly Kendrick's best song thus far is Count Me Out. That song is amazing. The whole instruments, that little harmonizing singing part in the background. I thought it was a sample. I was trying to look for the sample and see if it was a legit sample, but apparently it's not. Like it gets that old school feeling, and then the subject matter is obviously something that I dealt with in my life. So this is like finally one of the first time Kendrick has made a song that I can relate to. Most of the songs been like, I can relate here or there maybe, or I can understand it, but it's not really me. So this is the first time he actually made a song that I legitly been relating to. So Count Me Out. Summary of the song is basically talking about just all the things he like dealt with in terms of like his inner struggles of feeling like he hasn't been good enough and he hasn't been accepting himself, and you know, when he sees himself in the mirror, he's not happy with what he sees, and he's finally decided, you know, now I'm gonna finally decide to trust myself and, you know, please me. And now he's starting to love when you guys are counting him out. Like he loved when like y'all looking at me like I ain't that dude, cause now I'm going to show you guys I am that dude now that I found my confidence. So that's kind of been somewhat my story in life lately, like finally being able to accept myself and see myself in the mirror and be cool with who I am again. And now it's like just showing everybody, not so much of like a I told you show or to like throw it in people's face, but like just, you know, for the people who did think that I probably wouldn't do much in life or probably think, you know, I wouldn't get far in life. I'm like, you know, all right. I don't tell a lot of people things I do, you know, but like I'm doing stuff. Like that's like, you know, I'm making, like, I'm in a great position in my life right now, and I don't like, you know, I don't know how many people knows. I only told a few people about certain things in my life, but as for everyone, I don't know. I'll let that spread out how it should be, but yeah. So that's my little update with that. I haven't really been listening to a lot of new music. I've just been listening to podcasts. It was actually a week. It was a good week. I don't know which week it was. I think it was last week. Last week or 2 weeks ago. I don't remember. But there was a podcast like every day, like for all the podcasts that I be following, like every day someone uploaded a podcast. So I was listening to some mad podcasts like the past week. And music just been secondary. I haven't been focusing on music. But actually just today, before I started, like literally before I pressed record, they just announced the new XXL freshman list. And I mean, I'm only bringing this up to talk about my favorite list, of course, but it's funny because, like, I don't know, so removed from that because the only person I know was, I think it was Doechii, because she was on Isaiah's Rashad album and she recently signed to TDE. Other than that, I had no clue who anybody was on that list. And yeah, I don't know. I don't care. But yeah, just going off to that list, like just the freshman list and people who made it. I even talked about it in the last episode with Blue. He was in my favorite list. He was in the 2009 freshman list because my other favorite rapper, Charles Hamilton, was on that list. So it's nice having like two of my favorite rappers on that list, and the other rappers that was on there too. That list was a bittersweet list. That list was stacked with a lot of dope artists, but a lot of them didn't get the stardom that they deserved. And a lot of people look at that list as like that's the failed list. Like a lot of people, they either fell off or they just didn't get to the height they were supposed to get to, and they were on the list and whatever. But in terms of talent and like skills and the music that I listen to, for most people, like, that list is probably the best list in my opinion. I'll have to look at, cause there's some list that was dope, but like as a whole, like, I don't listen to everybody on certain lists. Like, if it comes to the 2009 freshman list, probably the least person I listen to would be Corey Guns, because, yeah, I don't know. There's no specific reason. I just didn't listen to Corey Guns. But every time I heard him, he was dope. That's the thing. Like, I never he was whack, but I just didn't. I personally just didn't. I wasn't looking for him. But every person on the list, like, I can enjoy their music. There's people on other lists that's like solid, but like there's like at least one or two people that's like, nah. So yeah. But yeah, new freshman list, new age of rappers. If anyone cares, I personally do not. Only because I'm mad because of, I forgot what year it was. I think it was 2017. I don't remember. I was trying to vote for someone to be on the list, which was Dye Jack. I made a video about him as well, talking about what happened to a few rappers, but he didn't make it, which he deserved it at the time because he was like blowing up. But oh well. Yeah, that's my music. Going into video games, this one could be long, but I didn't want to turn this into a gaming podcast, which, I tried that before. But this is basically quote unquote E3 week, or they calling it the Summer Game Fest. A lot of basically all gaming companies are revealing, new games and whatnot. So I mentioned that the Sony State of the Play, I don't know if it came out when I did the last episode, but that came out. It was all right. The only thing they really announced was Street Fighter, but just yesterday, I think it was yesterday, that they had a Capcom conference that showed more, and they revealed more characters. They revealed Gaio and whatnot, and because most characters got leaked, I don't know why people out here leaking. Certain things I don't mind getting leaked. I don't have a great example right now, but there's a lot of stuff that it's like, why y'all leaking? Like, just let it come out, bro. Like, it's Street Fighter. Like, what is so, demanding about Street Fighter that we need to leak this information? Like, it's Ryu, Ken, Gaio, Chun-Li. Like, we know the characters. Like, there's gonna be some new characters, because they always put new characters in every game. But like, damn, like, just let the game come out. Like, what the hell y'all rushing? It's like, learning about who's in the roster is not gonna change if the game is good or not. Like, I don't know what that does for people. But a lot of people have been clowning Ken because of his story, because it got leaked. So people just calling him like homeless Ken or depressed Ken. But it's good because it's finally good to have story, because the Street Fighter story has just been all over the place in terms of timeline. A lot of people don't know that Street Fighter 3 or Third Strike, they don't properly know how to put their numbers in. But Street Fighter 3 is technically, in the timeline, the last game in the series, timeline wise. And Street Fighter 6 is finally going to be the first games to finally go past that storyline. So I think Street Fighter 4, I'm not 100% sure, but Street Fighter 4 is very early in the timeline. So like if I was to like probably make a guess, maybe it'd be like Street Fighter 2, 4, 5, 3, and now 6. Obviously I'm not counting 1 because 1 is like, I don't even know if there was a story. Then like I don't even think Ryu and Kent like had a name. But yeah, like the timeline's all over the place. So it's and every time you play Street Fighter games, it kind of seems like the stories are the same. Like every Street Fighter, Chun-Li been chasing Bison for killing her dad. Like every Street, like bro, like you know how many years have passed in this timeline that you still haven't done this. Guile's story was you know, he lost Nash, Charlie, then he came back in Street Fighter 5, and then it was like, oh, okay. So like I don't know. Ken's story was kind of he didn't really have much of a story. He was just always there, like, oh, I'm just, you know, I'm Ryu's buddy, and I got married. We had a kid, and I'm rich. So now the story is like she divorced him and took the child. He like kind of lost his way. I guess he lost his confidence or whatever. He can't even do his technique anymore properly because he like just so out of his groove. So it's nice to have a story, like something. But yeah, so we'll see. But yeah, Street Fighter. But there's a whole bunch of other stuff. Xbox revealing a whole bunch of games that's coming to Game Pass. That Game Pass is looking sweet. I think I don't even know if I told about it, but Spider-Man's coming to PC. That's dope. And I don't know what the hell Sony is doing, and I don't know if I gotta shun the fans for this, but they are remaking, not remastering. They are quote unquote remaking the first Last of Us. The first game came out in 2013, if I'm not mistaken. That game made me buy a PlayStation 3. That game is amazing. Then the PlayStation 4 came out because that game came out towards the end of the lifespan of the PS3. So it was great, but it was kind of unfortunate in terms of like, damn, that game is great, but the PS4 is here. Now we got to move on. So they were like, we got you. We remastered it so that you know you can play it on your PS4 and the graphics and frame rate is better. So it's like, cool. And now we like, hey, the PS5 is here. How about we remake the game and put it out again, because we know how much you guys didn't like the second game. So instead of doing something about the second game, we gonna just go back to the first game and redo it again, because yeah, why not? So I don't know. Like I said, I don't like, if this sells well, I don't know what to say about this. Like, was the second game really that bad that y'all rather go back to the first one like that? So yeah, if I'm not mistaken, let me see. I think that remake is actually coming to PC as well, which is, that's amazing for me and us, because like I said, the first game was amazing. Like, I bought a whole console for that game. I didn't play the remaster version because my PlayStation 4 just been collecting dust, and I haven't felt like buying games and kind of catering to it. Especially, I wasn't really in a great time to be buying games like that. For like, I had the PS4, the Switch, and the Xbox. I still have them, but like, to pick and choose what console I want to like buy games for, the PlayStation kind of got thrown in the wayside. I was buying games for my Switch, my PC, and rarely my Xbox. It was mainly my Switch and my PC I was playing games for. So yeah, I'd love to get The Last of Us on my PC and play that again. That's one of those games that I played multiple times on all the difficulties and had one of the most underrated multiplayers ever, which I believe is actually still active. But that is dope because it basically takes the main, the main mechanic of The Last of Us, like the whole survival crafting stuff and stealth, and you just going against other teams. It's dope, like trying to like outwit each other and survive and win the round. It's amazing. So yeah, apparently they're supposed to put multiplayer back on the second game, but like I said, I don't know, they just like ignoring that game and they were gonna go back to the first game. A lot of people also been kind of angry, I guess, about the remake, because if you didn't put a side-by-side picture on it, like first glance just looking at it, you literally would think it's still the original game and they just slapping the title remake on it. But if you look at some side-by-side pictures, this, like, it looks more polished, looks a bit more realistic, I guess. I don't know if I like that. Like, this is a picture of Joe. I like the original Joe. Like, he looks, I don't know, it's hard to explain. Like, he just looks like some dude in the remake version, and compared to the original version, he actually like he looks like a video game. Like I said, I don't know, like that like going too realistic kind of might hurt it, maybe. Like, I don't know, because it's not like Joel is a legit real person. Like, as far as I know, they didn't use nobody's face to model him, but they did motion capture the acting. So trying to make him look like a real person that don't exist is weird, instead of making him a video game character. So that's been that. Like, it kind of know what it looks like. It looks like when people put like those deep fakes. Like, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know the people if they are trying to make them look like certain people. But it looks like they did that. Like, they did deep fake. Like, they took somebody's face and deep faked it onto Joe's body. That's how the remaster looks, or the remake looks, if you're not aware of it. And yeah, I don't know. Like, for the people who bought the original game and they bought the remaster, I don't like, y'all gonna buy this again, bro. I don't know what to say to y'all. For me, this is great because, again, one, this is gonna be on PC, and two, I haven't played The Last of Us since the PS3 version. So this will be a whole new feeling experience for me to play it in high frames and better graphics, because the last thing I had was the 30 frames per second version of the PS3 graphics. So yeah, good times. But yeah, Sony bringing y'all games to PC, baby. That's what I like to see. Yeah. Speaking of games that I played multiple times, I know I probably said that I was done with this, and I said that maybe I was gonna slow down, but I lied to myself, and I guess to you guys. And I'm same thing I said with my anime. I'm rethinking like making a video game top 10 list too, because I don't know. I don't know, but Cyberpunk might be in my top 10 favorite video games of all time. I'm currently on my third playthrough because I want to 100% this game. When I last did this podcast and said that I don't know if I was going to 100% this game or not, because it seemed like it was a lot to do, I was like I had probably like 20 plus achievements left to 100% the game. So I was like, I don't know. And then I was probably going to do another playthrough. I don't know if I want to do that. I'm just going to leave the game alone. I'm going to find me a new game to play. Cool, whatever. I don't know what I don't know what happened, but the cyberpunk bug like caught me again. And I went back and started achievement hunting. And as of this recording right now, it is the 14th. So this is technically yesterday because this episode is going to come out tomorrow. I have 2 achievements left. So I managed to knock down 20 or so achievements since my last episode. I'm 2 achievements away from 100% in the game. And yeah, Cyberpunk. And on top of that, the Cyberpunk Edge Runner series has been revealed. The trailer came out. Looks sweet. I'm just curious on the timeline, if it's going to be before the game or after the game. There's been a lot of things. Well, there's been a couple of things that indicates that it's either after or before. There's a picture that seems to be allegedly, I don't know if it's confirmed or not, but it looks like female V, which I guess that is making it canon that female V is the canon V, which to me, I believe that she was the canon V because I've grown attached to my female V and she fits better. Her style, her attitude, her personality fits a lot better than Mel V. Mel V just sounds like a douche. So that's great. But the character, apparently, who's the main character, there's actually an Easter egg that some people found in the Reddit that I actually joined the Cyberpunk Reddit. Don't judge me. But apparently the name of the dude, his name has been revealed before and it's actually in the game, the Afterlife bar. There's a drink named after him, and if you play the game, the story of this is that like legends in Night City get drinks named after them, but to get a drink named after you get it by basically dying a legend. So people are speculating that this is before the game because if obviously the drink exists in the game but the character is here. But a lot of people was like, well, we don't know if they might retcon that to a certain degree and say that maybe he, quote unquote died a legend, or he faded away as a legend and he's just gone from Night City, but he managed to become a legend in Night City. But yeah, same as like they never really talked about him in the game. Like they talk about other people like Morgan Blackhand, Johnny Silverhand. Like we get these name drops throughout the game. They never really dropped his name through the game, so we don't know. So we don't know if that's the same person or not too, and it's just a coincidence of the names. We don't know. That's what I'm saying. So the teaser didn't really show a lot. It just showed the animation. It didn't really tell us the story. So it's a wait and see moment right now. Speaking of, just actually today, Apex revealed, they dropped one of their stories from the Outlands trailer video things, which is like an animated series, just dropping lore of certain characters. And they did one for AJ Shea, Lifeline, my favorite. Just getting more story into her lore and stuff. And that's like one of the most wholesome episodes ever. I like it, seeing her friendship with Octane and seeing her deal with her family issues and whatnot. And yeah, and trying to like escape the name of her family. But yeah, it was cool. I don't know if it's gonna bring me back on Apex. The way that game is like sweat central. But yeah, I like it. Like they just need to just do an Apex show or something so I can just be interested in the lore again, because I don't know if I'm be interested in the game. Unless I get some people to carry me. I don't feel like trying hard in that game no more. But yeah, Kojima announced that he's gonna be working with Xbox. That's great. I don't want to speculate nothing, but on top of that, there has been this, I don't know if it was confirmed rumor or whatever, but Konami apparently got like 7 Silent Hill titles in the work, and I think one of them is a Silent Hill 2 remake. And I don't know how I feel about that. So here's my story with Silent Hill. I'm obsessed in a sense with the Silent Hill lore. Mainly the first 4 games, mainly the first 3, the first 4 games. And like, I love the story of it and just the whole mystery and the lore and everything behind it. I never played a single Silent Hill game before though. So it's one of those things that I don't know, I love the story. And Silent Hill 2, just from never playing it, and I know why people like just that story is amazing. Like I said, that's just off a story alone, not even gameplay. Like, I see why the second one is like usually everyone's favorite. It's an amazing story. The last time we got some type of remake remaster was the HD collection, which according to a lot of Silent Hill fans, they butchered that game badly with all of their mistakes and errors and the stuff that they try to replace and fix but technically didn't fix. Yeah, so we don't know if we can trust people to, apparently who did it, I think it's the people who did the Medium, which I'm conflicted about. Who did, apparently they are working on the Silent Hill 2 remake, because I'm conflicted about it, because like I said, I like the Medium story. The game was trash, not trash, but it was mediocre. Like, it was walking simulator for the most part. There's literally no action in the game at all. At least in Silent Hill, they're just walking, but at least you shoot and fight monsters and whatnot. So like, yeah, it's a game. Like, so yeah, I don't know. Like, are they gonna make Silent Hill 2 a walking simulator? So I don't know. But like I said, in terms of storytelling and whatnot, and the story is there. They don't do nothing different. All you gotta do is just slap graphics. Just slap some good graphics on it, man. Don't do nothing. But we already see that still be coming at a price with the Grand Theft Auto Definitive Edition, when they had one job, just slap some graphics on it, and they say, hey, let's just port the inferior version of our game to the console version and call it a new version. So yeah, that's what's going on. A lot of remakes and remasters. I thought we was done with that year, but it's never over. So yeah, that's where we at. At this point in time, bro, y'all gonna keep doing Last of Us 1 stuff, mainly if it's probably because of Joel, because, you know, what happened to him in the second game. Just make a Silent Hill. Let's make a Last of Us 1.5 or something. Just tell the story of Joe after the breakout, because obviously when we got the game and we saw what happened to his daughter, and then we just time jump to the main game, and it's like, hold on, like, what he's been doing, who's this Tess girl, like, she's dope, but like, how did they meet? He even alluded to his shady past, quote unquote, like when they were driving down the highway and he saw that dude who was like acting like he was a hurt homeless person who need help, and Ellie's like, oh, we should help him. He's like, nah, bruh, he is not hurt, and it's just a trap. And, you know, it's like, how you know? Because I used to do the same thing. So curious to see that story. If the whole point is that you just want to keep milking Joe, that didn't sound right, but like milking his character, because clearly he didn't get no justice in the second game. And he was dope in the first game. So I don't know. if that's what y'all care so much about, man, then just do it, bro. Like, you don't need to keep seeing the same story over and over. Speaking of, I've been contemplating playing the Walking Dead games again, because I stopped at the third one, which was the New Frontier, and before the fourth one came out, Telltale Games was disbanded or whatever in a terrible fashion. I think they was like disbanded like on like, you know, no type of warning. Like usually they get like, hey, we're gonna be closing soon. Like they're like, nope, yeah guys, we closed, y'all fired, get out. So we wasn't sure we were gonna get another one or whatnot. So I lost interest in the games and I stopped caring. Then they finally say, hey, we back and we're gonna drop this one game, and apparently they're gonna do a Wolf Among Us 2, which the first game was actually dope. But yeah, so they were like, hey, we back. Then they dropped the last story to finish Clementine's story. And by that point, I'm like, yeah, like I said, I didn't care no more. But now it's like, it's just one of those things. Like, it's a story undone for me because I was so invested in this story, and now it's like I gotta go back to it again. But now I've been contemplating on basically my dilemma right now is, one, what console to play on, or what platform to play on, and two, if I play on my Xbox, do I need to replay them because of the whole, you know, your decisions carry over to the next game. But I started playing The Walking Dead on the last gen Xbox, so I know like things are kind of quote unquote saved through the cloud or whatever, but like, is the game gonna recognize on my new Xbox, is it gonna recognize that I played The Walking Dead, since there's technically no save file on that Xbox file? So I might have to replay the game again. So like I said, basically the question is a matter of what platform, because I have basically the first 2 seasons on my PC. And with Game Pass, the entire Walking Dead, except for the last one, I don't know why, the entire Walking Dead series is on the Game Pass, except for the last one. But yeah, so it's basically what platform I'm gonna play on, and then buying the last season again. So that's my dilemma. Yeah, that's gaming stuff. Like I said, I would go more in depth with the gaming, but I don't want this to be a gaming podcast. Whatever you're interested in, just watch it, whether it's Xbox stuff or sadly No Evil Within 3 got announced. I mentioned that was something I would like to have seen from the Bethesda Xbox show. We didn't get that, but there's a lot of, not a lot, but every time I was like looking and turning the corner, there's a good amount of horror games either out or coming out. I think the Quarry is out now, but I think they're gonna patch in or release the co-op version later, so you could play the game solo right now. Apparently you could play the game co-op later, whenever they, you know, patch that in. But there's a whole lot of freaking horror games coming out, man, or just suspense or whatever. Quarry, I think a third Layers of Fear coming out. Scorn seems kind of horror-ish. It just seems creepy, not horror, scary. Yeah, it's quite a few games, so might be the year of horror. What's that game? I think it's called Redfall. That game so far is kind of the only game I'm interested in. I gotta watch some more and see if there's any gems that I overlooked. But Redfall looks interesting. It basically looks like a new, the best way to describe it, I would say, I don't want to say what it exactly is, but the best way to describe it would be that it's Left 4 Dead with, well, I guess, vampires and demons instead of zombies, and the main characters have abilities instead of just regular weapons. So it's more supernatural, but it's still a co-op horde shooter type game, it seems like. But cool. Yeah. And yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what else to really talk. I don't have much to talk about now. I don't have a main discussion topic, and I don't want to force it. So hopefully I'll have better talking topics next episode. Like I said, not every episode is. Damn, did I really go over an hour just BSing? But yeah. Yeah, so I don't know. I'm gonna end it here, I guess. And yeah, Cyberpunk might be top 10. But yeah. Till next time. Question of the day. For my gamers out there, what games have been released or announced that you've been either you've been looking forward to and you got another trailer for it, or because I know a lot of people are interested in Starfield. But is there something that you didn't know about that got revealed that you were interested in? Let me know. But yeah, this been episode 45. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Share, rate it, all that good stuff. And yeah, have a great day, great week. Until next episode. Peace.